Hi, my fellow Sagittarians. Raina here. This is your June 2015 tarot reading. And before I begin, I must say that this is a general reading with very few cards. It's also very short. And if you want something that is tailored specifically to you using your birth data, please contact me via rainamoonastrology.webs.com, where I have a list of services available. In terms of the cards that I picked, I created my own spread. The first card I picked was to designate the energy coming from the end of May into the new month. And the second card represents the first half of June, the third card represents the last half of June, and the fourth card is just a general overall card describing the energy of June. So I'm going to talk first off about the two bookends, which both came up in the reverse position. The card representing the energy at the end of May was the Two of Cups reversed, and the overall energy of the month was the Ace of Wands reversed. And the Two of Cups reversed refers to a relationship, usually a romantic relationship, that has been severed for some reason. And so it's a lack of harmony within a relationship. It also symbolizes one person taking and the other person giving, so an imbalanced relationship. And it can also represent creative difficulties for artists. So somebody who is trying to write or trying to paint and they don't have any inspiration. In terms of the overall energy of the month and the Ace of Wands reversed, it refers to some endeavor that doesn't seem to be catching on or being successful the way that the person thought it would be. And so if you have been starting any new projects or new business and things are slow during June, I think that this card is just suggesting that you not get discouraged just because things aren't happening. Because the reason that we even have these reversed cards, or these cards that point to negative circumstances, isn't just to say, okay, your life is going to suck, during this period of time. It's really always supposed to be something beneficial. And it can be almost like a heads up, like, okay, you might have this not being as fast as you had hoped. You might have this business not catch on as quickly as you had hoped, but just hang in there. Don't throw in the towel, that sort of thing. As a Sagittarian, I know that we can become overly optimistic, enthusiastic about something, and not be very realistic. It's always good to be conservative about what you think will happen regarding some new venture, because not having such high expectations means that there won't be the same level of disappointment if things don't pan out. And if they do pan out, then you can have like a unexpected surprise success initially. I think that the people that tend to succeed in their plans are people that stay grounded and don't expect the moon and the stars right off the bat. Because, it takes time usually. Sometimes things just take off like gangbusters, but you can't just count on that, and you have to have faith in the universe, that's all. It's not necessarily that something bad is going to happen. It's just that, remember, we have this Mercury retrograde occurring until the 11th of June, and then there's a little bit of a shadow period that follows every Mercury retrograde, and it might take a little bit of time for things to get unfunctified. So we have to just have patience and also have perseverance. So the second card that I picked for the first half of June was the Devil card. And whenever I think of the Devil card, I think of addiction. And Anthony Lewis, in his great reference book on the Tarot called Tarot Plain and Simple, uses the keyword codependency as one of the descriptions of this card. And I think back to that first card that I picked, the Two of Cups reversed. And it could be for some of you, Sagittarius, that if you're having relationship breakups or difficulties, that it might be on again, off again, and you just can't quite make a clean break. Or you might be codependent, and the first card doesn't mean that you'll break up, but you're thinking, man, this person is taking and I'm giving, and you're silently resentful of it. And the Devil card just kind of shows you, you need to break out of this mode because you're enslaved. Any type of addiction, whether it's a relationship or a substance, is a form of enslavement. And as Sagittarians, we really value freedom. And there are different types of addictions. But admitting that you have this issue is the first step in eradicating it from your life, because energetically, if you can overcome a bad habit, what happens is that it just exponentially increases your success in other areas. Because when people have addictions, they tend to expend a lot of their energy in that direction. And even, money is energy. And, if you're spending money on an addiction, that's money that you're not spending on something else. And whatever we invest in or focus on increases. And so once you get rid of a bad habit, that gives you that much more energy to put on something that will increase your well-being. And that's the exciting thing about it. And interestingly enough, for the third card representing the second half of June, I got the Temperance card. And, I think a lot of people know what that means. It means balance in one's life. And actually, the Temperance card is connected to Sagittarius. I would think it would be connected to Libra because Libra is all about balance, but no, it's Sagittarius. And it's about moderation, not being too extreme in one direction. So what it might suggest is that if you can break your habit, you will get into a state of equanimity where you can become centered. And once you become centered, you will be able to be that co-creative force that you really are. And that Ace of Wands reversed will upright itself, and you will really be able to carve out this new chapter in your life. Because you know what, my fellow Sages, I have watched a lot of YouTube videos on Sagittarius for June, both astrological and the tarot. And some of them were thrilling in their positivity. And it's my belief that June is going to be our month. I don't care what my reading says, because you know what? Life is all about individual components, and it's possible that the cards that I drew were meant to be drawn as reminders that we still have things that we have to work on, and also to be aware of these things, to know that they may come up and that we can transcend them. But I have watched videos that have suggested that we're going to have like amazing good fortune. And I think that my reading and their readings are compatible. I think that they're more likely to occur if we practice the virtues of the Temperance card. And if we do make sure to live a life of moderation and have the balance that comes even on the mundane level in terms of what we eat, how much do we sleep, what time do we go to bed, that sort of thing. Not to mention, do you meditate? Do you make sure to get out in nature? Do you create art? You know, being creative means that you're giving of your soul. It's not a coincidence that young children like to draw pictures and pretend and do things like that. We're born to be creative. And as manifestors, if you want to manifest things in your life, you have to get into the mode of the creator and stop being just a consumer and just taking things in. But you have to also participate in life in whatever way you're called to do. And when you can get into that great vibration where you're doing that, I think that the whole world will open up for you. So, Sagittarius, I hope you got something from my reading, and I'm really looking forward to telling you about July in the near future. Until then, bye guys.